Good afternoon from Europe. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, guys. Piotr here, this Light Forex Global YouTube channel, and we are about 5 minutes ahead of the US cash open. That's what we are going to check. A little bit of the risk of sentiment, but we know when it comes to the US cash market, usually within the last few days, everything been great. Fed is giving away money to the left side, to the right side. So whoever wanna buy is buying. Australian dollar and the pound we discussed this morning, and they did very well over the course of the early part of the London session. We have a little bit of the reverse again, guys. Same as yesterday, from 2 p.m. CET, once the 8 a.m. New York, once the New York opened. Well, we will see what's going to happen. So without a further delay, let's check a few charts and then let's have a look what we have when it comes to the NASDAQ cash open. All right, guys, that's the euro dollar. If you remember yesterday, we were discussing that that low is not gonna hold because of Riley-based rally, and the base was a little bit lower. So if you were a buyer, I've been talking about that yesterday, that's the liquidity pool. That's what happened, especially the lower shadow move back, right, and the break to the upside. Now that's the yesterday high and the Tokyo high today. So we have some kind of the liquidity pools over there. So that's what I'm going to watch from short side perspective, especially that levels close to 1340, 1350. That's where I'm interested the most, right? Still, I do understand that the dollar is losing a little bit of the ground because we are above the yearly open, right? Also not doing well with the Japanese yen, so it's a little bit weaker ahead of the FOMC tomorrow. Also, if you remember, I've mentioned today that there is a possibility we might see bear flag when it comes to the DXY. So I do understand, but let's have a look if the dollar can recover and if we can have on the dollar midweek reversal, right? So for now, I'm looking how we are going to behave at the top of the Tokyo and at the top of the yesterday, and what's going to happen once we are going to hit these levels. If you are a buyer, that's your first target from the intraday perspective, right? Now, Australian dollar, exactly as discussed this morning. If you haven't seen, I strongly encourage you to go check, right? So it was the drop, base, drop, and that's what we discussed. So the upside break, right, from that consolidation, we can treat as a false break, right? There was also stop count we discussed this morning during the Tokyo hours over here, right? And we were somewhere around here before the London Open when we were doing the morning meeting, okay? And so there was a break, and now retest of levels close to 69.80-70. That's where I'm going to look for some kind of the continuation to the downside. When it comes to the Australian dollar, I want to see what kind of the behavior we are going to get, because market is almost sure that the Fed will step in and will buy, and well, it's towards the end of the day, it's going to be like nothing has happened. Plenty of things are going on around. Anyway, so that's the Australian dollar. Cable, bulls are trying to rescue 2640 again, right? So we took out a bit yesterday low, right, with reversal, right? So we took out this low with reversal. Well, I wonder if it's going to work the same way because of what we've seen during the Tokyo session, right? Of course, that was the stop to the upside. Now we had stop to the downside. That's, yeah, I do understand. I would like to see the break to the downside. because now we can treat it as a consolidation, something like this, right? So I would like to see break to the downside through 2614, then retest of that consolidation, something like this. Very similar price action to Australian dollar we discussed a second ago. So that's how I see the things here for now. Let's have a look what we are going to get when it comes to the NASDAQ open. Well, we broke through on Friday, a little bit of the continuation yesterday, and with the problems today. So the market is officially open. Okay, looks like new high is just, you know, just a matter of second. So we are going to check what's going on at the beginning of the day. If there is any kind of the reversal when it comes to the NASDAQ, was the strongest, right? That's the low for now. That's the high for now. I think I'm not gonna be surprised if we are going to see stop count to the upside. All right, I'm not at all. But of course, the first thing first is half of that consolidation, New York close, Tokyo session. All right, so that might be around 9,900. I'm sorry, 9,882 based on my chart. That could be the first supply here. Let's see how it's going to play out. All right. With this type of the speed, probably we are going to go for the liquidity here, if not higher, right? Where the buyers somewhere here. So it's liquidity pool, pre-market liquidity pool to the downside over here. So that's gonna be interesting to see how they wanna play out that stuff. Oops, sorry guys. Also, EURAUD dollar is doing well as discussed this morning. AUDCAD waiting for the break through this support at 93. So if that's going to happen, so we might double this move to the downside. So it's going to be like 120, 150 to the downside. So probably somewhere close to 9180, 9170, right? That's how I see the things for now, and that indicates a little bit more risk of as at least at the beginning of the US session. Come on. Sorry guys about that. So what I would like to see, is some kind of the rejection, right? When it comes to the indices, I would prefer stop count, big rejection at the top, but I'm going to watch this demand based on the yesterday price action during the cash market, the second leg to the upside, and if we are going to break through that like this, right, and then we will recover something like this, right? So I might be interested from the intraday long perspective as well. But you know, when although bank routes are going higher, that's not good sign, right? That's not good sign. Okay, there you go. That could be treated as a failure. That would be great setup if that would happen during the cash market, right? That would be completely different story. Okay, anyway, so I'm watching carefully developments on euro dollar. I'm looking to add something on Australian dollar and pound. Okay, euro dollar and dollar yen, well, if anything, that's for tomorrow for me. Today I think the continuation of the weakness on the pound and Australian dollar could be in place, right, either after the option expiration or after the London fix. Okay, then NASDAQ, as explained, to both sides, but you can also try to do different thing, right? If we are going to have a failure at the top, right, not necessarily NASDAQ might be in play. It could be DJ, which was the weakest. You can check the DAX, right? Not necessarily NASDAQ. It's so strong. So just try to think that way, okay? Okay, folks, that's it from me for now. Be careful. If necessary, I'm around. If necessary, I will make another update. Have a good one and see you around, guys. It was my pleasure to make this US Cash Open for you.